Track wrestling here at Pleasant Hill at the Grandview Open, Northern Iowa. Coach Doug Schwab, 7 champs at the Grandview Open in the Elite Division 1 and the Fresh Soft Division. What pleased you most today?
I mean, a guy like, Carter being able to kind of gut things out and finish. Even though last week it just shows like how much matches can change week to week, and you just can't just expect that a guy's going to fall over for you, because last week he was able to take him down and pretty much rolled over and pin. So guys are going to make adjustments to you, but not panicking, and then being able to find a way to win in the end. I think those things are big, that you can do it out there. We talk about kind of being able to overcome those things, and so that's kind of on my mind, because we just finished with him. But a guy like Shorm, just how he's coming out and wrestling, going out and getting points, and then putting guys on their back and pinning them. I love seeing that. I think Elber looked really good. Hodges, wrestling a teammate in the finals can be tough. Hodges did a great job to get to the finals against him, but Elber's really pushed himself, I think, to another level. I like how he's competing. Max, goes out and competes his tail off every single time. I thought he looked really good in the finals. That was definitely the best match that he wrestled. I think that's what you kind of want to see. I want to see kind of maybe as the level of competition increases. Sometimes you should never be to the level of your competition. You should be able to overcome that. But I liked how he finished. He looked strong, looked explosive. There's some things that you want to be able to see. And I saw a good response there. Paid more getting him out there for the first time. Looked good, hit a lot of really good attacks. And kind of the same thing with Carter last year. He'd maybe get behind and he'd panic a little bit. There was no panic. And that tells me that the confidence is high. Just the belief in himself is in a really good spot. And then Logan Ryan, it was great to see him out competing again. Just setting a breakneck pace. I don't know if you got to see him at all, but just straightforward, attacking, snapping. Looked really good. I was excited to see him compete and see him, really excited to compete. Thought he competed really well. 74 Lujan looked really good in the finals last week. I don't know, if he got bonus points on him. Maybe he did, but just seeing him open up. Foster being able to open up. I saw a little spring back in that step at the end. Which that's kind of, he's a really explosive athlete, so kind of want to see that explosion. And is he just maybe not there clicking yet, but I thought he saw him click really those last couple matches. So that's what we want to be able to see. I think we've got in what we need to do the last 2 weeks to be ready for duels. We go to Cornell on Friday, and I know they have a good young team. So obviously we have to raise to the level of that competition. 33 guy got dinged a little bit, and the way concussions are now, you go back and you do your time, and if you don't match the time, then you don't get to wrestle. So, and that's protecting the athlete. But he looked good the first match too, and wasn't able to continue. 65 got to get somebody to step up. That's a big thing. You kind of bring those 3 weights. 97, Isaac just got to continue to, I guess, get some more seasoning. When you haven't had as many matches, sometimes some guys you don't maybe have awareness in some positions, and we just got to get him out there more, get Hog healthy. Obviously is a big piece of that. Hopefully we'll have him back next week. I'm not sure where we'll be at, but we're not going to rush anything. And that's why some of these guys weren't competing either. Sometimes you have to tough through things, sometimes you don't, So we're trying to find the balance in that, because I think we're always kind of flirting that line a little bit, but trying to make sure that we're doing what's best for the athlete and the team moving forward. And some guys push through some things today because you have to. And then some guys they weren't quite ready, so you don't compete them, and you get them ready for the rest of the season. But I think we're in a good spot. Just I'm excited to see how we respond. Should be a big crowd there. I know Cornell's it'd be a fun atmosphere, and kind of just being able to see when kind of the lights are shine on you, because tournaments, it's not quite the same. At least kind of these tournaments aren't quite the same. They should be, but sometimes they're not, just in kind of how you take it. So excited to see how our guys respond, and how kind of like if we're able to kind of build some momentum off each other, because it's hard to build momentum in this kind of environment, even though we were having quite a few guys kind of back to back. But just kind of see like a guy like Shorman goes out and how he builds momentum for 33, and how 33 builds for 41, 49, and those type of things. That's why I really like duels, just kind of see how guys build off each other. But I don't know, we'll be ready to scrap. I know that. Your guys had some of your better guys had some tussles early in the tournament. Yeah. Quarterfinals in particular. What did you learn from that can help you moving ahead? I think you have to be ready to wrestle everybody. I mean, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter where the guy's from. And we talked about it before. It wasn't like it's a shock to him that, you know, there's really good wrestlers in every single division, you know, and you have to be ready to wrestle against everybody. And if you're sloppy, you know, it can end up being a really tough match. And these guys aren't just going to fall over for you. You know, you can make them fall over, but man, if you let them stay in the match, they're going to stay in the match, and it's a big deal for those guys to beat a Division I guy. You know, I mean, it really is. So, you know, they have to understand that they got a big they're in the crosshairs, I guess, you know, when you go out there and you compete in against some of those guys. But there's some really good wrestlers in every division, and I guess we can't take that lightly. And just guys, I think, being more ready to wrestle. Like I don't want to see this. Like, okay, well, you know, I wrestle at a pretty good guy, so boom, I'll have my level here, and then here. I mean, we have to continue. I just want to see us climbing, you know, instead of well, kind of seesawing back and forth. We just got to continue to climb, and I think that's just focus. And we're working on it in the practice room. You know, we'll continue to work on it out here, but just kind of where our focus is, where our perspective is when we're out there competing. You know, kind of what we're thinking about, and you can see when guys are really on, and you can kind of see when they're not. And I saw some guys, you know, turn up as it went too. You know, you kind of saw that focus really narrow, and that's what I want to see. I want to see how guys respond like that, and some of our guys as it went, you know, and then that focus narrowed, and they were more ready to compete. But you know, you can't. I guess you can't just kind of sleepwalk through some of those guys. I mean, it'll come to bite you, and guys were able to still respond and overcome some of those things, which is good too. Because you know, I think, you know, you can learn from a loss, but if you can learn without taking that loss too, that's a good thing too.
You go from being idle for what, 8 months, 8 months,
Yeah.
as far as competition goes, to getting 4, 5, 6 matches in a day all of a sudden. What's the most valuable thing that comes out of this? Is it you know, going through that routine again, the warm up? Is it, you know, the reminders of nutrition? Is it just getting out and knocking off the rust? And
I think it's all those things. I mean, you can't just point to one. I mean, it's getting your routine. It's getting up for every match. It's controlling those nerves. You know, and when you get to the national tournament, you have a match and then you have time. You know, so sometimes in here you have time, and that's kind of what I want to be able to see. How do they handle that? How do they handle? They get back up for the next match. You know, are they able to control their energy? Because energy management is a critical piece, and being able to do that. I mean, we got to put ourselves in these type of environments to do it. You can't really duplicate anywhere else. I think just some toughness too, being able to respond, being able to be dinged up a little bit, being able to be maybe your 4th match and you got to get up again and maybe you're a little bit sore. I mean, those things are important too. Just from I guess how a guy responds to it. How do they look at it? Are they kind of hanging their head and feeling sorry for themselves, or are they able to do the things that we talk about? Are they able to keep their perspective in the right place? Are they able to do those things? Because, like I said, it's never the same as a practice room. I mean, it just isn't. Is it, even much as we try to duplicate it, getting out here in the match nerves, you know, that's what we want to learn how to really manage as best as possible. And to me, the best competitors, they are able to do that. They're able to manage those and overcome them. Even if there are some doubts there, they're still able to compete at a really high level. And that's what we're trying to get these guys to work through right now.